Beautiful blessings to you. I hope that everybody's doing really well. How was your weekend? Connecting this morning on 999. What an auspicious portal it is today, and I definitely wanted to make the time to connect. Of course, there's never a right or wrong when we share, and so I put that out first as I share a little bit about what 999 represents to me, what I sense, the energies. We know that numbers carry a vibration, or at least most of us, right, are open to that resonance, that numbers are a language, and also in that language it communicates with us and invites us to be open, right, to activations, to calibrations, to guidance. When we see 1111, when we see the triple threes or fives, right? The triple fours, all of them. But they all carry a very unique language to most of us, and we can have many different interpretations of those vibrations. The nines, 9 represents numerology. In the numerology space, 9 represents completion, going full circle, and in itself the 9 is a very powerful number, divisible by 3, which again is the trilogy coming into fullness or completion. So we add to that triple nines, which is today, and most of where we're located. I know that there's people watching all over, and today might be 910 where you're watching, and yet we're in this gateway that's going to last at least another 9 days. So whenever you're watching this, wherever you are, whether it's 9/8 or 9/10 or 9/9, definitely still very viable, the resonance of the sharing. When we have the triple nines, it's, oh wow. We don't always have the triple nines. Of course, we always have September 9th. But based on the year, it's not going to be a triple nine. But this year it happens to be. And it's so very in alignment with, we better get it. Are we in realization that we've completed many things? The second 9 is hello. Did you realize it's time for you to move forward? And that triple 9 is, we're gonna move you there. In my observation, we're gonna move you there because your higher self agreed to this timeline and to being pushed, and we needed to push you to get to that next place. What is that next place? Well, we're in a new paradigm, so new beginnings, new projects, new relationships. And it doesn't necessarily always have to be like new, maybe a renewal, within the same scope of a relationship or a job, a project. So again, sort of like revisiting it from a whole new perspective, having closed the door on what was, and really being open to the newness of the freshness of something new, under a new guideline, under a new expression, under a new projection and perspective and alignment, and I think that many of us, or at least it's been my observation with the people that I work with, the clients that I see, the students that I work with as well, myself, is, as much as we know that there's certain areas of our lives that we need to put closure to, we cling on, we're afraid, we love certain things, certain people, certain situations, and so we kind of hold on to neighborhoods, it doesn't matter, jobs, identities, and we're afraid to let go, because we've learned to identify with that. And the fear of letting go is almost like losing your identity. And yet, that's exactly what's being called for, is for us to lose our identities in order for us to be redefined. Don't be afraid to lose your identity, whether it's whatever it is that you have identified with, and allow it to blossom into a new level of identification. Because you're not really going to lose who you were, you're just going to become something more. And it's not always easy to trust or believe that. And yet, we are in a new paradigm, and these energies are about really unveiling and blossoming the totality, the potential of who we truly are. And so it's about growth, expansion, exponentially into these new areas that we probably never saw ourselves capable of achieving or accomplishing. Let it go. Let it go, knowing that you're not really letting go of anything, and step in there in the innocence and in the curiosity of exploring and allowing whatever newness needs to come and to enter, to do just that. Step in and not be afraid. If we intend, or if we attempt to cling on, the triple nines is also about accumulating new karma. And that's a very big subject, so I'm just kind of going to leave it light. But you don't want to create new karma that for the most part you've probably transmuted in the engagement and the completion of people, places, and things, and scenarios, and relationships, and all that good stuff. And so if we prolong ourselves in something that we know that we've pretty much completed, if we have the signals, if we have the red flags, or it's not even a bad red flag, it's almost like I know that I'm sort of finished here, I've grown or I've received as much as I can, and it's almost feeling a little stagnant. I'm attached, and that's what keeps me here. But I have this yearning, and I know I'm supposed to keep moving forward and grow. Then let it go, because if you don't, then by virtue of that, you create karma. And karma is nothing more than now you're creating energy that binds you. We're not talking about, punishment or excuse me, I'm very sorry for that. I have an incense, and the breeze is actually blowing it towards me. Karma is not, punishment or necessarily a bad deed, although it can be that as well. It simply means that you're creating unnecessary binds, attachments, contracts, obligation, and it's, if you create it because you've chosen to not let go when the universal forces are telling you, come on, let's go, then it becomes very primordial in that, the universe is not necessarily going to support you in transmuting then that new bind that you're creating. You're sort of gonna have to deal with it, on the raw, sort of raw. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it does, but it's almost like the universal force is gonna just kind of stand there, if you can imagine, waiting for you to now transmute the karma that you've created before it can start pushing you again. So in another sense, we could look at it as being left back, of a grade, but now you have to kind of like do it on your own. You're not gonna really get that much assistance, because the next grade is already starting their studies. They've already begun. So it's very important that you align yourself to letting go, to being in a place of acceptance, of surrender, of putting it in the hands of the goddess of the earth, and asking for comfort, for compassion, for yourself and others, and the celebration all at once of what you've completed and others have as well, and wishing others or maybe yourself well if you need to, good luck if you need to complete something again, you know. Hopefully that's not where we're at, right? But more so being open to stepping in there and saying, you know, I surrender because I'm ready to get into that next elevator of growth and of rebirth. Really, the triple nines is about the death, preparing us for the rebirth of the newness of a new whole book, you know. Yes, I hope that makes sense. Of course, if there's something that doesn't, you know, you're always welcome to reach out, and, you know, through a comment, and I will try to explain what I can. Sometimes these subjects are a little cosmic. Anyway, I am sitting with the Earth Magic deck this morning. Of course, a deck that I don't always use, but I felt that because it is a rebirth date, that it would be appropriate to use the Mother Earth to guide us. This is a pretty, I don't want to say neutral, but sort of soft message, and yet they could be very profound. And anyway, I'm going to trust that I felt guided to it. Use your breath to let go as you're doing those intentions today. Letting go, releasing, you know, knowing that the inhale is going to fill you with newness, you know, with everything that you need, but letting go with that breath. Yes. Sanctuary is the first card, the cave. You know, yeah, you know, going inward today is a great day, just sort of identifying anything that you are holding on to, you know, those attachments that I spoke of earlier, you know, really going inward to the sacred self, solitude, taking time to be with the self today, just really allowing yourself to feel you. And within that sanctuary of the sacred self, feeling safety, I feel here also, knowing that all is well, even though maybe it may not feel well, but that it is needing to almost be a little bit like the hermit today, making time to introspect. Yes, is what I feel on that card. Let's see. Full moon completion. Absolutely. And I think we have a full moon coming up, right? Absolutely, I love it. Completion. Look at the deck, you know, and here it is, validating today's 999, which is, as I said earlier in the video, completion, completion, completion. You know, let's go. Such an appropriate card, a reminder. You know, there's so much that we signed up to experience here, and if we really knew, you know, what that list was, we wouldn't hold ourselves back, you know, in places, situations, people, and things that are just prolonging our experience, our growth, to the fulfillment of all that awaits us, you know. So take that look again, you know, and see, make a little checklist of what, and you need to be authentic of what you really fulfilled and completed, and be excited about what is ahead of you, Earth Magic, beautiful card. Feel the fairies here. It is a magical day. Please remember that we're never alone. The elementals, the fairies, the animal guides, the archangels, the guardian angels, the ascended masters, your higher self, Mother Earth, the cosmic father, my goodness, our ancestors, the elders, every aspect of existence is holding a space for us, like a fairy godmother would, encouraging us, telling us what's your wishes. We are all holding these wishes for you. Don't be afraid to step forward. Let the earth bring into fruition through your desires and your intentions, whatever it is that your soul wishes to experience. Yes, I love that card. I feel like one more. Passion, the fire element, of course, very in play right now. Transmutation, burning away, doing some shamanic work, drumming, dancing, celebrating. It also has another side, which is if we resist the penetration of irritation and perhaps a little anxiety, the buildup of knowing of emotions, knowing that we need to let go, we need to release, we need to take the exhale, and allow the fire of earth, the Mother Earth, to help us transmute, so that we can rise like the phoenix, right? Okay, one more, the 5. DNA karma, and again, I have so much reverence when I'm guided to pick a deck, because I felt, the earth, of course, the earth magic deck, but I feel sort of like it's a little neutral, and yet here it is, it's bringing it home up to what I shared before I started pulling the cards. There's a karmatic end to this, and again, karma in itself is a magical word because it could represent completion and an ascension of moving forward, or it can represent getting sort of left back, which means that we need to repeat or complete. And so a reminder in this 5th card that, celebrate yourself for the karmatic completion of what's been completed and let it go, and start with 0 karma, in that you're not clinging or holding on to things that you've already completed. Let them go so that you can start from 0 point. And again, that could be a little controversial because we always have some kind of karma. I'm telling you, today's a 999 day. Clean the slate is what this card means. You can be released of a lot of karmatic debt and obligation if you realize that a lot of things are completed. If you don't realize it and you resist and you hold on, then you can create new karma, bind new obligation, new energy that's not really going to be supported, that you're going to have to move through, on your, sort of like on your own. Yes. So let go. Be thankful, grateful, honor, celebrate, and 0. Here I am with my new dreams. Here I am with my new desires. Here I am with my newness. Yes, of my new DNA. Okay, the new structural composition of who we are becoming, literally, in some ways today, as we let go, and the streams of new DNA are able then to be activated. Yes, wow, very high by frequency reading today. We make plans and the goddess laughs. I had no idea that it was going to be so high, but it was. And so just remembering again the sanctuary, the cave, going inward, introspection, making time for the sacred self, completion, a reminder, to make that list and let go, get ready to step into that new place. The Earth Magic card, so much support, so much of the earth and all that we are supporting and guiding us. Don't feel alone. Fire, transmutation, shamanic work, uh, the ashes coming into the phoenix. Ooh, I love it. And the karma card, let go, start from 0 point. Yes, I loved it. Did you love that? I hope you did. I hope that you felt the energetic of that reading, of those beautiful messages and the cards. I hope that you have an amazing day of transmutation, I'm sorry, and of rebirth, of renewal. We hold the space for you. I hold the space for you. I know you hold the space for me, and I thank you for that as well. What else? For those who are in the tri-state area, and I'm sorry that I always have to say that, but a colleague of mine, a beautiful witch here in Staten Island, and I are going to be doing this fun and fabulous psychic event on the October 5th. We had to change the date a few times. October 5th here in Staten Island from 7 to 10. It's a Saturday. You can find, I'll put it in the description, a link to that event in my events page in my website. If you are in the tri-state area and wish to be part of that, it's going to be fabulous. We're going to do an open psychic sort of reading, you know, everything goes, so to speak. And it's fun when we do it that way. Mark has been doing this work for over 20 years, and so have I. And so we bring a lot of experience and knowledge and insight to the event, but of course also a lot of love and light and fun. So if you're inspired to join us, please, again, I'll put a description, a link in the description page. And by the way, you know, I do a lot of these events here in the tri-state area, but if you are inspired and you have a group in your part of the woods and you would like to talk about, you know, me coming out, I am definitely open for that. I've done it quite a number of times, to Florida, North Carolina. I did it in California a couple of years back, Puerto Rico, you know, Costa Rica. We did a retreat. And so if you happen to have a sizable group and interested in shamanic work, drumming, or just to come out from, you know, for you to host, you know, where I can come out to do healings or workshops or whatever it is, and you have the, you know, a group, then I would definitely be open to considering that. So just kind of wanted to share that, because I know that whenever I share an event, it always happens to be a local for me, but that doesn't mean that I am not willing, if everything can fall into place, you know, to travel to you. Yes. And so have a blessed, glorious day of release, of surrendering, of acceptance, and of rebirth on this 999 day. Always leave you with my love, with my light, and with my peace. I love you, I love you, I love you. And I look forward to connecting again with you soon and reading your comments. And I love you some more.